Hello again, everyone, and thanks for joining us as we tape another segment of Chicago Lawyer Magazine's Inside Out, an exploration of various aspects of the law with our unique husband and wife team of David Susler. He is Associate General Counsel at National Material LP. He has the inside perspective. The outside view comes from Christina Martini. She is a partner at DLA Piper here in Chicago. I'm your questioner, Andy Shaw, President and CEO of the Better Government Association. That's bettergov.org. Okay, today the topic is the multi-dimensional lawyer. I got that pronunciation right, an awful lot of syllables. But let me ask first, what are we talking about when we say multi-dimensional lawyer?
That's a great question. I would say that we're talking about a few things. I think we're talking about someone's raw intellect. I mean, essentially it's bringing different facets of talent, capabilities, and ability to see things from different points of view when we're talking about multidimensional. So what that means is being able to see things, like to have the raw intellect, but to also be able to be, I would like to say, maybe empathetic, in order for you to be able to see things from different people's perspective, which is very important from not only a practicing law perspective and leading client teams and understanding clients. You need to get sort of in their heads and understand how they see the world. But you also need to, I think from a leadership perspective, it's very important as well, to sort of understand the folks you're leading, to understand the different sides to issues and to problems. And I think it just enables you to reach resolution and to cross the finish line, whatever that finish line may be, more readily by being able to see things from different perspectives and to wear different hats.
And so you're talking more about different traits as a person, not necessarily just legal skills. David, would you look at it more from strictly the lawyer standpoint, or also this holistic approach to your profession?
No, I take a more holistic approach as well. I agree with what Tina said, and to be a multidimensional lawyer, it really means it encompasses the law, but it encompasses you as a person, how you view the world. It's not just being interested in the law or in your specialty. There's interest in the civic world, culture, music, art. I like to call it, it's the diversity within you that makes you more than a one-dimensional person.
And do you think that's important, not just as a human being, but important to your success as a lawyer? I'd ask you both the same thing.
Yes, it most definitely is. For example, in this client service focused profession that we're in, the more I think a multidimensional lawyer can really approach a problem from multiple ways. There's typically going to be a legal answer to a problem, but that's not enough. You look at it within the larger context of the business, the client, the needs. What is instead of just the narrow answer, what's the greater impact? That's one example of how it might play out.
Well, another example, pulling off on what David just said, it's very important, what's the right legal answer versus what's the right business answer. And in some ways you're wearing two different hats when you're addressing both of those. Taking it a step further, for somebody who's in private practice, who's a partner, it's really important from a business development perspective to really be able to understand different types of clients across different types of sectors. And in order to do that, you really need to sort of understand different facets of business. And you also need to be able to sell and understand what your colleagues do too. So when you walk into a meeting, you want to, and especially if you're trying to be a relationship partner with a particular client, you need to not only understand the different sides of the client's business, but you also have to understand the different sides of your own business and what different people's capabilities are and where the firm's sweet spots are and how those align with what the client's business needs are.
Is this seamless, or does it create a conflict between the legal piece and the rest of it?
No, I think they go hand in hand. And building on what Tina said, to understand how best to give advice in the proper context, you need to understand, for example, your business and understanding, what is the essence of the issue? Why is this issue here? Why is this person bringing me this issue? What do they really need? And being multidimensional can help you really ferret that out. That specific example really goes to emotional intelligence. But it's also, as Tim was talking about, ours is a relationship-driven profession, attorney to client, but also in building the relationships. You know, what Tina said in private practice is true for in-house as well. I have to be able to relate to the business people as human beings. You know, you've heard me say before, in order to get business, people have to know me, they have to like me, they have to trust me, or they're not going to want to use my services as a lawyer, right? Well, that requires me to be a complete human being and relate to people on many different levels, you know, music, sports, business, law, because they all interplay.
And you don't think the specificity of your legal skill, which is in a very technical area, conflicts at all with the holistic approach to being a lawyer and having clients and having partners, etc.?
I mean, I think that's a very good question. I think it's my job, it's incumbent upon me to make sure that while I continue my skills in my specialty and continue to be the specialist I am, because that's really why clients come to me for my own particular legal skills. But they also come to me because they know that I'm a gateway and I enable other folks at the firm to be part of a bigger team. And they know that I'm looking out for their best interests, that even if the client's needs are beyond my practice area, that I've educated myself enough about their business as well as about the firm's business to know who the best people are for the client team, not only from a specialization perspective, meaning, you know, this is the best real estate lawyer for this particular project, but also from a personality perspective. I mean, I've had so many clients, particularly, you know, over the years and more so even now, have said to me, you know, the assumption and the presumption is that every attorney that you present to the team is capable and has the mental horsepower to do the job. It's also so critically important that they have the right personality to work with the team as well, and that's just another part of the analysis. And I do think that they are seamless. I know clients are looking to us as private practice attorneys to make it seamless for them.
And it's funny, I was thinking the question had more to do with a multi-dimensional legal skill set as opposed to the concept of the holistic lawyer. But you think that's really where they're going? I mean, because you're more often going to be a specialist than a generalist.
I think it depends on the circumstances. I mean, I would say that David is a multi-dimensional lawyer in both meanings, because he is one of 2 in-house attorneys at his company, so he's a lot more of a generalist. When you're at a law firm like mine, that's a large global firm, that's a general practice firm, you may find some people who are pretty well versed across a number of different practice areas. But my guess is that more often than not, if you see those folks, it's because of prior work experience they may have had. More often than not, when you're going to a large firm and you look for different types of folks with different sorts of specializations, more often than not, they have one main specialization.
And again, it ties back into being the multidimensional person, because I think the goal on both the private practice side and the in-house side is you develop a long-term relationship between the attorney and the client. And I'm both an attorney for my company as well as a client with our company's outside counsel. So I want to know that I'm building a relationship with real human beings.
Tina Martini, David Susler, thanks very much. I'm Andy Shaw. Thank you for listening in, and we'll see you next month again for another segment of Chicago Lawyer Magazine's Inside Out.